What is up? If you're from my Instagram, if you're from my YouTube, or you know me in real life, this video is exactly for you. This is the exact transformation that happened inside of my life that took me from unprofitable and losing money almost every single day in trading to becoming a consistently profitable trader and earning $100 almost every single day using my unique model. A lot of people do not believe it's real, but it is definitely real. And I'm going to be revealing all of my secrets inside of this video. So make sure that you have your notebook, make sure that you are taking notes, make sure that you have no distractions on, and you're also watching this inside of full screen as well. Just because I'm going to be dropping everything and I don't want you to miss it. So let's get straight into it. So this is me while I was working my job, and this is one of my accounts right now inside the present moment. We're going to go into a little bit of the before and after right now, but before I implemented my entire executive edge model, I was super stressed and unmotivated. I was losing money almost every single day, as I just mentioned. Literally, there were times where I thought that this trading thing wasn't possible. I thought investing was all a scam because I was losing money so much. And even though I was seeing like other people do it online, when it came to my specific situation, I just couldn't make money. Every single month, I was having problems. And I didn't realize that it was just me. I couldn't really stick with a strategy for more than a week because of this. Because I wanted, success inside of trading, because I was failing so much, I would hop from different strategy to different strategy. One week I was trading supply and demand. The next week I'm trading support and resistance. All of this made me feel very lost and also very confused. It was like I was running in circles, no progress, no, no vision of the future. It was like I was just totally lost. And I know that a lot of you guys feel the exact way right now. Now, after implementing this model, I became very disciplined and also systematic. Because the model fitted my exact situation, I didn't overtrade. I stopped over risking. I stopped doing those dumb things that I was doing before that was making me lose money almost every single day. I started making $100 or more per day, like you guys see on my stories, like it was nothing. I had a sense of overall clarity from the markets. Nothing was not clear now. Now I was able to put everything together and also, kind of not predict fully, but have a good prediction at times for the future. And then also, most important, is my stress levels went down dramatically. And that's a very important thing that, nobody really talks about. We all talk about, day trading, swing trading, all of it, but we don't talk about stress. How much stress are you putting on yourself when you are trading? Because I'm a firm believer that stress multiplies. Stress and also multiplies, and it can also kill as well. It can kill your health, kill your finances, and it could kill your relationships within your family and all of that. So my stress levels went down dramatically from where they were because of this model. So who is this for? Who is this entire program for? This is for you if you are working a job and looking for an alternative source of income. So this is perfect because I made this model while I was busy, while I was working. This is the perfect thing for you if you know that you're busy, you're working, and you just want some more money coming in. You per se don't even want to quit. You just want an alternative source of income that can make you money while you are working. If you have no time and you want a proven system that requires very little input but still brings in cash, then this is definitely for you too. I'll tell you that with this model, most days I really don't do much. I might look at the charts just for fun, but I don't even need to do that because the model runs by itself. You don't really have to be on the charts all day long. If you have no time, this is perfect for you. If you're tired of all the information inside of the trading industry and you just want a proven blueprint to start actually making money, this is for you too. I know that a lot of you probably, if you're a little bit more into it, you've probably seen, a lot of stuff in the tradings the world, but you just really don't know who to trust. You don't know who to go with. You can't really connect with anybody. The information there is not really working for you. It's not really sticking, or they're not really guiding you the right way. Then this is for you. If you failed over and over again and feel like there's no hope too, then you came to the right place, because I'm a trader who's failed many times, more than before I even achieved success. And if that's you and you failed too, you came to the right place. And then if you like discipline, you keep blowing accounts and know that you can become the best version of yourself, then you know what I'm about to say. You're in the right place. If you lack all these things, you keep losing money, and you just want to, change your life, you just want to be that version that you know you can be, then this is for you. Now, this is actually very important. Who is this not for? A lot of times I talk about, like, who is this for, but this program is not for everybody, because not everybody is working. Not everybody, already has a little bit of capital that they want to grow. So I'm specifically going to point out who is this not for, and if this is not for you, then you can click off this video, or you can continue to watch it through. But know that it's not for you, and it may not be for you at this moment. But anyways, if you're trying to get rich quick, then this is definitely not the right place. This is definitely not the right place, because trading, investing, even though we make money, right? We make money on top of our money, and it is a long-term game, right? You won't get rich quick overnight, or even a couple weeks. You have to learn, apply, and then get better and better and better, and then for you to make that money. This is not a get rich quick scenario, and it's never been a get rich quick scenario too. And then if you do not have a strong enough why, to why you want to make this money, and I just don't mean you're in here to make money. I want you to dig deeper. If your why isn't strong enough, then I would ask you to leave, because trading, investing is something where if you don't have a strong enough why, your why is like the foundation. Imagine we're on the river or a boat and the waves are coming, but the foundation isn't strong enough. Your why is your foundation. Once that foundation breaks, you're gonna drown. And if you do not have the strong enough reason to why you started, you're gonna forget. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a strong enough why, then it's not for you. If you're okay with not having another source of income that can make you financially stable, then you're not in the right place. And then if you're not ready, especially, this is another very important one. If you are not ready to put your time, your energy, and your effort into this program and this model, then this is not the right place. This video is not the right place. If you don't put time, if you don't put energy, and you don't put effort into learning what I'm about to, everything I'm about to reveal to you, then everything is wasted. Because it is only, I've worked with a lot of people, and the people who get the best results are the ones who show up, even if they can't show up every day, because this is, we are working, but they're putting in the most effort that they can to get better. You can really tell too when somebody is trying to get better, despite their whole entire situation. And then if you're okay with being undisciplined, unmotivated, broke, unworthy, sad, depressed, and feeling like life is an everyday struggle, then it's not the right place. I've met a lot of people, the I can't catch a break people. You ever met an I can't catch a break type of person, where every day is like, every day is the same, everything is just getting worse. They feel like life is going against them. I can't catch a break, but they're not willing to take the next leap. They know that their life isn't the best, but they're doing something that is called insanity. Einstein reveals this as insanity. Doing the same thing but expecting different results. And then complaining on top of that same thing. Like, it's insane. It's insanity. So I'm about to reveal to you guys the truth about trading, investing, this whole entire industry that literally nobody is going to reveal to you except me right now. And the truth is that you can make tons of money without having to sit on the charts all day. And it does not have to be so hard. You can still work your job or not work your job, but build the life of your dreams. I mean that you don't have to, it doesn't have to be hard. A lot of people, when you first start out, you think that this game is the hardest thing. You think that the charts are hard. This is hard. It's hard to be disciplined. I got to show up. I got to sit on here. No, it's not the truth. You can make a ton of money, and it can also be very simple, very easy. You can work your job, and you can build whatever dream. You can go to where you want to go. You can, have the extra capital in case your family has an emergency. You can go to a different country. You can do these things. You can do all of these things. You just have to build it. The key word is build. You can work your job, and you can build the life of your dreams. Most people, though, are not capable of doing so because they do not understand how to create a system that actually works around their specific schedule. This is what most traders, most influencers will not teach you how to do. They won't teach you how to create a system that actually works with you. And if I go up to my story, right, I scroll up again to my before and after, that was the key to my problem, was that I had a system that worked with somebody else's schedule that led me to keep on making the same mistakes over and over and over again. Another thing is that most people don't know because they don't diversify into the right assets. They don't know what to actually trade. They're over here trading, certain things that aren't going to bring them money. And lastly, you don't know how to use the executive edge model instead of some strategy that you found from your favorite influencer. Using a strategy that either does not work or you don't know how to use it inside of different market conditions. You just think that strategies are always supposed to work. By even if it's support and resistance, the most basic strategy of the market, you think that it always works inside of different market conditions, when that is not the case. There is no such thing as I don't have enough time or I do not have enough money. You do not have to be on the charts or screen for more than 30 minutes each day. And let's be honest here. You have enough money inside of your bank account, right? In order to trade, in order to invest. But one thing that you lack is the commitment and urgency. You just do not want it bad enough. Like I said, the truth that I just revealed, a lot of people will come up with this. I don't have, time. I don't have, we just said it with the time. You don't have to say on charts, but I don't have enough money. The truth is you have enough money. If I put, God forbid, but put your family or something you really care about in danger, and I said, you have to come with me with $10,000 in the next 30 days or a month. You would do everything inside of your power in order to make that $10,000. You would do anything. So you have the time, you have the money. So what is stopping you? You just have to have the urgency. You just have to have the grind in order to say, I'm going to work 2 jobs right now. Or I'm going to do something else right now in order to make some money. I'm going to do these things so I can make some money real quick. There's nothing wrong with, chasing money for a moment in time so you can get your situation right. There's nothing wrong with that. You can work 2 jobs. You can work 3 jobs. I knew somebody who at my old job, he was working 3 jobs. He was working 3 jobs. He was working 3 jobs. So you have enough money, you have enough time. But is your urgency? Do you want it bad enough? Because I can tell when somebody doesn't want it and when they do want it. When you want something bad enough, you'll find a way. You'll literally find some type of way. And if you want to see how you can make money with your job, literally, I'll show you exactly how to navigate around all the issues I mentioned earlier, how I personally became consistent while working 40 hours every week, and also how I changed my mindset to be more disciplined, accountable, and consistent, and how to do all of this inside of your busy life. But in case you don't know me, here's a brief backstory to how I got here. Now, I went over a little bit of it in the beginning, but now I'm going to review just a little bit more about me so that you guys know who I am. You guys know who Chris Trades is. You guys might just see my face. You might see me on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. You see this guy who's talking about 9 to 5 and working, but you don't really know, too much about who I am. So I started trading back inside of 2022 with Forex. I learned Forex from a lot of people back then are not here now who I learned Forex from. I was using this platform called MT5. MT5 is a broker where you can place trades on. I struggled with profitability. Funny thing is, the first couple months I was making money. Next thing you know, the next 1.5 years, I was losing money consistently. I would gain money sometimes. I would lose everything the next time. I would lose more and more and more than I can ever, hold. I went through so many mentors, but stumbled upon the strategy that I use today. And when I mean so many mentors, I mean so many mentors. This story, this is a brief backstory, but if we go into this very deeply, I went through tons of mentors. I went through so much trial and error. And the more I grew up as well, the more jobs. I'm also in school. I had to work. I got more busier and busier and busier. I had to deal with all these things in life. And I became so stressed. I became so stressed out, leading me to not always be present with my relationships, my loved ones, and overall not just living a fulfilled life at all. I felt like trading, investing controlled my whole entire days. A lot of times I just wouldn't be there mentally. I was just not there. Somebody would ask me a question, bro. My head is on the charts. My head is thinking about the money I just lost yesterday, or how much I'm down this week, or the accounts I just blew. Or I just felt stuck. Just felt stuck. And this was my reality for a very long time. But this led me to creating the Executive Edge model. The Executive Edge model is a system that I built, like I said, through my own trial and error, failing at trading for years while also being immensely stressed. I finally found the solution to become consistently profitable and print money from the markets while also having freedom. And now I've decided to break it down for you right now. So let's start off with the first thing that you need to do inside of this model. So if you weren't taking notes before, now's the time to actually take notes, because I'm going to reveal all the secrets. So the first thing you want to do is shift your mindset. Mindset is the foundation of this strategy. You know how I said before, you need a strong enough why? This goes into your overall mindset. You need to change your mindset in order to attract money and opportunity instead of repelling it away. Before, when I started, I didn't realize it, but I had a money mindset that was very scared of holding money because of maybe, not even when I was growing up, but just different situations, people around, communities. We're not really taught how to hold money and how to grow it. So I was repelling money. I get some money and I'd be like, oh dang, this money. I'd get this scared feeling inside of me, and then next thing you know, I'm trying to hoard it, and in hoarding it, I'm losing it, I'm repelling it, I'm pushing it away. So focus on changing your beliefs, especially the ones around money that you never thought to question. Like like I just said, the belief that I had when I was a child. You need to question those beliefs. The ones that can actually come up, I need you to think about them. Think about how you view money right now, and think about if it's actually true. If you're somebody who is older or even younger or even around my age and you believe that, oh, how can I make this amount of money? I'm only such and such age. But there are people around you inside of this life who make 10 times more than you, who are actually self-made too, but just did things a little bit differently. So is that belief that you have actually true, or is it a belief that's actually holding you back? Once we question these beliefs, we set a permanent change in our paradigm will actually lead to changing our life. So we question these beliefs, our mind starts to come out with solutions. But the way that we shift our mindset is by affirmations and actual visualizations. A lot of people can get woo woo with affirmations. All I mean by affirmations is you want to write down what you believe that you are. You want to, if we go back to childhood, right? When we were younger, before the world came into our lives, before different beliefs, different everything, a child is so imprintable. If I tell a child Santa is real, that child will believe that Santa is real for a long time, most of the time, right? Because their brain is very malleable. And what is the main thing that the child learns, when they're younger? We learn a lot of repetition, because through repetition we start to believe. Through repetition we believe because we imprint it into ourselves. So through affirmation, by saying I am abundant, I attract money, wealth comes to me easily, things like these is how we start to change our mindset. And I promise you, if you start doing this today, if you start affirming today, say it before you go to sleep, say it when you wake up in the morning, you will actually start to change your mindset. Your whole entire mindset will start to change just like it did for me. The next thing you want to do is visualization. You want to visualize the person that you are, trying to be, or the person that you are already but don't even know it. You want to visualize how are they living? What type of home are they living in? What type of money do they have? What does the abundance actually look like inside of their bank account? How does it feel? And this brings us to our next point. You want to be able to feel your goal of making money right now as though it was actually real. When you're saying your affirmations, feel it. When you're visualizing, feel it. Feeling is so strong because if you have a fear of something, right? Let's say you have a fear of spiders, but you start thinking about the spider. You start thinking about a spider. That fear will enable you to feel like the spider is actually here inside of the present moment when there's no spider here at all, or your fear is not here, but you feel as though that fear is so real. That is the power of feeling, and we can use this in a positive light towards our goals. We can feel our goal into reality before the goal even happens, so that we can act accordingly, and then our mind starts to shift and think inside of new ways. So that's the first part of this overall model. So after we have the right mindset, which is the foundation, we then want to go from day trading to swing trading and also achieving freedom. So if you don't know how to trade at all, I skip this part from day trading to swing trading. Just start swing trading. But if you are day trading, if you are scalping, going from day trading to swing trading, where you have more time, especially while you're working that 9 to 5, is the best way to achieve freedom. Because instead of sitting at the charts and waiting for trades all day, we focus on specific swing setups and use some of our capital to be able to trade those. We trade stocks, we trade futures, we do options, we could do a little bit of crypto as well. And we use a little bit of our overall account too and focus on high risk to reward opportunities. No, actually low risk to reward opportunities. So if you see this chart right here that says swing trading, you see, price, we see the difference at open and close position. We see overnight, multiple weeks. All this means is that we're holding positions for, multiple weeks at times. We're holding positions, overnight, multiple days. A trade that I was in last week on gold, I opened it up on Monday. I'm still inside of that, same swing position today. So with swing trading, we learn how to use both fundamentals, which is news, and technical analysis, which is basically the charts, to be able to trade effectively. The specific strategy that I use for technical analysis is called supply and demand. I learned this from my my mentor, Doyle Exchange. I do have to give him a shout out, but I learned supply and demand from him, but he used it on the lower time frames. I learned how to use supply and demand on the higher time frames to be able to make this overall model, and it's exactly what I use, exactly what works, and it works amazingly with when you have a fundamental theme, which is basically news. So we're gonna be reading the news, reading like CPI, interest rates, what the Fed is doing, what assets actually are getting money to pouring into them, because the difference between a smart trader, a really good trader, and the difference between that type of trader and just a regular trader who just looks at the technicals, it's literally just information. If you can know like a really good news catalyst, I can show you. If you guys see my trade, if you know me from Open Door, that came from knowing a news catalyst. That came from knowing news months before the news even came out. If you can see these things right, you can make a lot of money very easily with your swings. Mastering swing trading gives you freedom that you desire because, like I said, you do not have to sit on the charts all day. So the next thing is learning how to create an actual investment portfolio. So right here, I have Robinhood. This is not my Robinhood, but this is just an example of creating a portfolio. So instead of all these individual names, we would have some of our portfolio inside of what's called ETFs, which is a basket full of stocks. The main ETFs, write this down if you're taking notes, is we want to invest 70% of our money into QQQ, SPY, the other one, Dow, VTI. Those are like the main four. The main four we want to invest 70% of our portfolio into. Why is this important? This is important because one of the things that I used to do when I first started was that I would put all of my money into my day trades. I would put all of my money into a specific setup. I would put, almost all of it or a majority, even 10%, into a specific setup. But the rest of that capital, I wasn't letting it work for me. And we're going to go into compound interest later. But that really matters over time because that money is sitting there and it's not doing anything. So if we can get 70% of our portfolio into these, ETFs, that QQQ itself is up 20%. Like year over year, it's done 20% almost every single year. The average is 20%. Imagine what that can do to you over the long term, let alone the short term. But imagine just that putting your money there and having 20% compounded over the next 5 to 10 years. How would your money literally look like? You would change. Everything about you would literally change. And you would come back to this video and you'd probably be thanking me because your little, 1,000, 10,000 done turned into, even five for the past 5 years, QQ is up like 400, something like that percent, just because the economy. your money would turn into some huge amount. And you would be like, dang. And that's just with one part of this overall system. Just investing 70% into ETFs and high growth stocks. The rest of our portfolio is going to go inside of bonds and gold. So with bonds and gold, these are both what I like to call risk off assets. Basically, when the economy is not doing so well, people like to flock to one of these or both, depending on what type of not good situation we're in. But we always want to have bonds and gold because we always want to have some cash. Bonds is like equivalent to our cash. And what you're going to learn inside of this model as well is that cash is king. Cash is king because when the market is falling terribly and we're looking for swings, we need cash. We don't need money that's already inside of positions. We need to put cash, inject cash inside of the markets. That's how you win over time. That's how you buy certain dips that will actually change your life. you know? So this is how we make money consistently, even if we don't have time to swing trade. I haven't even gotten into the swing trading portion, but just if you just do these two things, right? If you're watching this video, if you put 70% of your portfolio into ETFs, high growth stocks, 20% of your portfolio into bonds and gold, you will, this is all passive. This is literally passive money right here. Like, you don't have to do anything. You can literally not do anything except just put more money into there. And then, like that. This is without even the swing trading. So, after this, though, once you do this, you do both, the swing part, and you do this. You can even leave out the swing part if you want. You will learn the compounding effect and also master consistency. The compound effect is real. The compound effect is so real. Not just, even on charts. Think about your habits. Think about your life. You are the effect of the compounded habits that you've been doing over the past year. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, going to the gym. The little habits that you, done, like going to the gym every single day, even if you don't put in so much effort into the gym, after a year or two, you see a dramatic change because of the compound effect. A lot of life is kind of like a snowball. Everything compounds off of each other, and it is so real inside of trading and investing. And for this compound effect to happen, what I want you to do while you're working your job is take each one of your checks and take 50%, or, if 50% is too much, you can make it a little bit less, but that goes towards your dream life. That goes towards building your dream life. Like we said at the beginning, it goes into building your dream life. So 50% goes towards your account, so you can build that account, so you can build that money maker, so that compound effect starts rolling inside of your favor. Once you master consistency by sticking to this program, you will actually see a transformation in only a couple of months. So if you keep putting money into, and you keep taking good trades, you keep showing up, you keep investing, keep pouring money into the market is going to bless you, because it only takes a couple of months, really. It takes one good opportunity at times to change your entire trading account. I've literally seen this happen. Sometimes you'll get a really good stock that you're swinging, and it goes for a crazy percentage, and it changes your whole entire account. Imagine doing that on top of already putting money and staying consistent. One thing I do want to say, though, is that we do not want to swing for the fences. What do I mean by this? If you see a basketball player, unless you're Steph Curry, you're not shooting threes. You're not shooting threes on every possession, are you? No, you're going for layups. You're going for mid-range shots. And that's what this is. This is our mid-range. This is our layups, right? Our easy money. We're taking easy money from the markets. We're being disciplined. This is the traditional way to invest and trade. Where we want to, go for, low risk, high reward, stuff that will actually change, our entire life. That's with the rest of our account. That's with 10%, of our portfolio, where we then swing for the fences. We swing on like low stocks, and we get that high, risk to reward, and for us to change our entire lives. So it's not like an everyday thing. That's basically what I'm trying to say. It's not an everyday thing where you will get that type of opportunity. But if you show up every day, the likelihood of you getting an opportunity that will literally change your entire account is so very likely. And that's all I wanted to say by that. So once you master this, though, once you master consistency, showing up every day, you will get blessed. So the executive edge model is made for you to make money easily while you are still working your job. For me, the results were so life-changing that it transformed every area of my life. Not only did I become a better trader and investor, but I also became a better person with a new perspective. So I started to think different thoughts. I started to act different towards people, towards family, towards loved one. Just every single area in my life changed just by doing this model. Just by shifting my beliefs, swing trading, investing my profit. All of this changed everything about me. Every single area of my life started to change. It was like I started to become just an entirely different person just because of this model. Now that you understand how this process works, I have a specific offer for you. And you can, look at this offer and say that, you want to move forward, or you can just take the value from this video and do it on your own. But if you're somebody who wants to take it to that next level, because of course all this free information, you can take this and you can go do it on your own, or you can have a specific guide. So if you are a 9-to-5 worker and you want freedom, you want the freedom, you are a trader, you're an investor, you're not consistent, and you are sick of not seeing any results from trading and investing, and you want to make the most progress that you've ever seen. I'm talking about before you're not making any progress. You're literally like a straight line. But after this, you see exponential progress. You want to make that type of progress and you want to transform your life. You've seen my story. You've seen everything I went through. You've seen the whole entire process. You want to change your life just like I did and finally achieve that freedom that you're looking for. You can become a consistently profitable trader while working your 9-to-5 and achieve financial freedom by using my executive edge model. So if you want all these things that I just mentioned above, all you have to do is just hop on a call with me down below and we could talk about it together. Now, like I said before, this is not mandatory. So you could take the information from this video and you could do it on your own. Or you can be like me, a lot of my clients too, who I've guided them. And all I'm doing, right, is I'm making this entire process easy for you. Because you know what you want. You want the freedom. You want to change your life. All I'm doing is taking this process and we're going to be very specific and I'm going to implement it just like I did it for me. I'll implement it in a way that works specifically for you so that you can see that success better than anybody on the planet. I understand your situation more than anybody on YouTube because I was in that exact situation and all I want to do is help you out to get to that next level. So if that sounds like something you like, just click the link down in the description. It'll take you to a calendar call and you can book whenever time you're available. So other than that though, this was like the most value driven video that I've ever given. Literally, like nothing compares to this video. If you're listening for this video too, you can take a lot of this information out. And I really hope that you were able to learn from this video and that you're able to take it, apply it to your life, and just overall change your life. So I'd love to read, your comments that, things are getting better in your life based off this video and all of that too. So hit me up. I appreciate all the love and support as well from a lot of you guys too. But That's it for this video. I hope to see you guys soon, and see you later.